This is Intro to Java, our user input assignment. This is supposed to be like a reiteration from our previous assignment where we were using user input with applications, like a job application. And this is the second part where we're not just including user input, we're also trying to return what the user was typing in. So let's open the previous sums so we can compare it to each other and to see what makes them so different. So a while ago we did user input, and this one was the example we would use was a job application. There was a welcome screen, and then there would be like a series of questions that you would have to answer, like basic job application questions. So one of the methods that we would use in this one was an input stream reader. So this one would record the whatever the user was typing in. So it wasn't just like, say we're going to press enter, it's going to bring up the next question. It wasn't just input taking what we were inputting, but it was also responding back. So the first question will come up is your first name, so I would enter Bull. And the second thing would say, thank you for your response, you entered Bull. And these two lines are crucial to not just taking in the input that the user puts in, but also in responding back to what the user just typed in. So in our this weekly assignment, this one was kind of the same thing, but instead of it just typing in a response and then getting a response back, it was also recording each response in like the memory, and then I can call them back at the end. So the questions are still the same. It's still an application, still has a welcome screen, a welcome phrase. It's still the first few lines are the same exact thing as the user input project. And I guess the first thing we had to do was to import the Java in the beginning, because if you didn't do that, it won't work. So I did the same thing I did before, put the welcome screen so that I can press enter and then bring me to the next screen. And one thing that I didn't realize was that having this catchphrase so that I can so that I can give me an error response anytime something went wrong, it wouldn't work when I tried to use Sense Scanner, which is what I use in this project. And I think like trial and error, I tried to realize that it wasn't working with having a scanner and a catch, like a system error response. So after I have the welcome screen, it'll be the same thing as before. So when we run it, it would say welcome to ABC, which is a made-up company. Become a new team member, press enter to begin, type your full name. I won't type exactly what it's asking because again we just want to go through it just to see how my project went. So my name, and then it'll respond with Bull. And the thing that we need to remember is that it's not just taking in my input and responding back to me, it's remembering what I wrote. And then you'll see at the end how it remembers it. So this is what right here, if you can see, string question 1, scan next line. This line right here will record whatever you wrote, and then put it into the memory. So here at the bottom, I'll call back to question 1. This is the like the variables for it. So each question has its own variable, and I'll differentiate with a number. So the first question has 1, second question has 2, and then so on and so forth. And then at the end, all of them are all lined up at the bottom, so that it's like I would like group them all together. So it would say, please review your saved response for our application, and then it would print out every single response that the user put in, what I put in, and then the last screen, the last phrase, it would say, thank you for completing our job application. It's kind of repetitive because after each time you type it in, it would say, thank you for your response, you entered, but it makes sense to know that your code has a memory, and that you know how to, the methods to use to have response that are stored. So we can go through the whole application. Date of birth, we'll just put like a random, right, and then I'm still writing something in the responses because so that when it so that when these all these lines when it responds with all the responses that I put in, I'm not losing my track. It's just so that for this example. So for Gmail, I'll just put for my email, I'll just put just a random whatever, just so that I know which one's which. So you see here at the bottom, it would say thank you for your response, and then no, and then please review your state response for your application. Bull was the first one, 1223 4321 was the second one, and then so on. Like all the responses that I put in for each question that it asked me, it went through and responded back with every single response that I put. And that's how my project went.